Jake from gameranx here, and I'm at E3 2016 in Los Angeles, and I'm here to give you the 10 biggest surprises from Sony's PlayStation press conference. Now, we're talking about the biggest surprises from this press conference here. No offense to Horizon Zero Dawn, shout out to them, they had a really impressive showing, but we've known that that game's coming out. Let's talk about the real new stuff we learned, starting off with number 10. I think it's definitely worth mentioning that The Last Guardian finally has a release date. We've been talking about this game for years. But Sony popped in with a quick and emotional trailer showing a release date of October 25th, 2016. I'm just glad that we're finally going to be able to get our hands on this long-awaited game. And at number 9, we have the trailer for Detroit: Become Human. I hate to say this, but I actually completely forgot about this game. This is David Cage and Quantic Dream's new game. These are the guys that made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and my favorite, Indigo Prophecy. This trailer was incredible though. I don't know if David Cage and his team finally really has a grasp on cinematic editing, but this thing looked and felt amazing. Maybe it's just good trailer editing, or maybe it's the actual game. I don't know. But what we got here is a scene where you're playing as an android cyborg named Connor, dealing with a hostage situation as a negotiator, but the person taking a hostage is actually another android. The trailer takes the time to show the variety of different approaches you can take as Connor, all resulting in wildly different scenarios and all seemingly pretty exciting. I didn't expect this game to be so detective-based, but they show Connor searching for clues, investigating, picking up stuff, doing research, and I just really appreciated that. That came as a huge surprise to me. Quantic Dream games are different for everybody. Some people really love them, and some people always feel let down by the hype. But I gotta say, Detroit looks promising. And at number 8, we have the showing for PlayStation VR. October 13th, 2016 is when we can finally get our hands on this. But we've kind of known about stuff like that, but what I really appreciated was their showing of games. It looks like they're working to have actual experiences and not just tech demos here, showing off a really cool Mars-based first-person shooter, and most importantly, something Batman Arkham. It's being developed by Rocksteady, it has Mark Hamill voiceover, and I immediately became 10 times more excited for PlayStation VR. There's one other thing coming out for PSVR that is really exciting, but we'll get to that later. At number 7 on our list of surprises, we had Shawn Layden coming out on stage to Crash Bandicoot music. Yes, Crash Bandicoot is back at PlayStation. And as exciting as it was for someone like me who had personal investment in that series growing up, the announcement was pretty low-key. We're getting new, remastered from the ground up versions of Crash Bandicoot 2 and Warped for PlayStation 4, which is pretty awesome, I'll take it, but they also took a lot of time to show Crash Bandicoot in the new Skylanders game. The new Skylanders game looks cool enough, but I just care about Crash Bandicoot. And at number 6, something that took me really by surprise, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare actually looks really great. Now, of course, we haven't played the game yet, and maybe we're contributing to the hype, but they had a damn good showing at this presentation. First of all, that space flight combat looks pretty good. It looks intense, it feels real, and it doesn't seem to be on rails. The rest of the shooting in zero gravity with grappling hooks and a bunch of different abilities out in space seems really fun. It feels like Call of Duty, but it just looks different. And that's what myself and a lot of other people really want, is different. I think it's still 50-50 up in the air. Maybe they just had a really good showing here, or maybe the trailer that is historically disliked, maybe it was just a bad trailer. We won't know until we play the game. And at number 5, we have Insomniac's Spider-Man game. Oh man, I did not expect this. Holy crap. Okay, this was rumored. It was really hard to believe, but sure enough, they threw it out like, oh, no big deal. Insomniac, Spider-Man game, cool, whatever. Spider-Man has a really cool costume that I'm very much into. It definitely looks like there's open world web swinging and lots of different types of traversal, and of course, combat that seems pretty good. We don't have too much to go on, but Spider-Man alone is enough to warrant a big surprise on this list, am I right? And at number 4, we have Sony Ben's new game coming out of the woodwork finally with Days Gone, which looks like an open world zombie survival apocalyptic type of thing, which we've seen 1,000 times before, but there's something a little bit different with this one. It actually feels like a combination of Dead Rising with, you know, just massive amounts of zombies that you can mow down, and the tone and feel of The Last of Us. But what I like here that is different is that the main character is a biker. He's just a biker through and through, riding motorcycles, that's like a thing. And as colorful and seemingly light the gameplay seems to be, there does seem to be some emotional tone to this. And I think, I don't know for sure, I haven't confirmed it yet, but it seems like Sam Witwer plays the main character. For those of you that don't know, he played Starkiller from the Force Unleashed video game. I go back and forth here. Some of it seems generic, but the presentation seems really cool. The combat and the shooting timing of the zombies just kind of looks so-so, but overall, the combination of elements, I'm still willing to give this a shot. And at number 3, we have Resident Evil 7. A big surprise with this trailer. Starting out, it looked like your typical, regular indie horror first-person type game, until, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but the second the player picked up that cassette tape, and it made that classic Resident Evil inventory sound, that's when I knew. Resident Evil. Sure enough, the trailer went on, we saw a creepy haunted house and one weird character, and then a bunch of weird music and trailer stuff, which it decidedly doesn't feel Resident Evil at all, which makes sense if they're going for a new direction here and, you know, kind of like a reboot. But then the title popped up and it said Resident Evil 7, so I don't really know what to think. But I think it's worth mentioning that the game is going to be releasing on all consoles, but is going to be entirely playable in PlayStation VR. It's releasing in January, and it was kind of unexpected, but you know, I'm always willing to give Resident Evil a chance to restore itself to greatness. And at number 2, we had Hideo Kojima taking to the stage with huge applause and Mad Max Fury Road soundtrack, his favorite movie, I might add. And it was just like this massive fanfare and explosive event, and he came out to announce his new game titled Death Stranding. In typical Hideo Kojima fashion, we got a really weird trailer, but the big surprise here was that it was once again starring Norman Reedus and a creepy little baby, which I don't know if you guys know, but those are both the main characters from Silent Hill's PT. It's really weird. There's dead whales and crabs everywhere, there's weird haunting imagery here, and we really have nothing to go on here, though I didn't expect a trailer. I'm pretty glad we got that. I thought we would just get Hideo Kojima announcing the new title of his game, but instead we got a little glimpse at it, and for that I'm pretty excited. And at number 1, we have the new God of War game. This really kicked off the whole press conference, but it looked absolutely freaking amazing. There had been leaks of a Norse mythology God of War in the past through some concept art, but man, it looked nothing like this. It's being directed by Cory Barlog, it takes place within the Norse mythology, but it's really a whole new reimagining of God of War, especially its gameplay. It is worth mentioning though that officially this does continue the story. It's taking that mythology from the previous games and continuing from God of War, but really reimagining the gameplay. It's been confirmed that you play through the entire game as Kratos, and it's many years after God of War 3. Obviously, look at the guy. He's old. This is old Kratos, and it's awesome. There's like a new camera angle, a whole different perspective. It has been confirmed that it is not an open world game. It is also not releasing in 2016, but I just found this so interesting, especially from story elements. It looks like Kratos is with a new son of his. Did he go in hiding and start a new family? They reference a mother who has died. This boy is Kratos' son, and Kratos is teaching him how to hunt, with moments here and there of levity and actual emotion from Kratos. I think it's very interesting to take this older Kratos and tell a new type of story and game in more of a Last of Us fashion, because it makes sense because he's so old, but it seems like there's a real narrative here, and I'm into it. But what I appreciated most is the ability for him to click both thumbsticks and activate a Spartan Rage, and then it kind of triggers a cutscene that makes him just do old badass Kratos shit that you used to know him for. I really appreciated that, and I think this was just one of the most exciting reveals we've had in a while. But guys, those are the things that we think were the 10 biggest surprises from Sony's press conference of E3 2016. We also have top 5 surprises from Xbox as well, if you haven't seen that already. But I want to talk with you guys down in the comments. How do you feel about all these PlayStation reveals? I'll be down there chatting with you guys, and I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino as well. You guys know the deal though. If you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And subscribing is a great idea if this is your first time here, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.